All right, so welcome to our leadership lunch series for today. Today we have Dr. Kate Watson, who's joining us from the Advocacy Academy, which is based out of Philadelphia, to talk about acting with purpose, a workshop for leaders who are mission driven. So I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Watson in just a second. A few quick housekeeping items. I will be posting the link in our chat today so that any Stockton students who are here today can click that and mark their attendance. We'll use those who have clicked that link and marked themselves as attended. We'll use that at the end of the session today as we raffle off our Grubhub gift cards, which have been a fun little way to end each session. So thank you all again for joining us, and I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Watson.
Thank you so much. And I'm just looking to see, yeah, we've got about 16 people here today. So I'm really happy to spend my Thursday kind of mid-morning with you folks. And my name is Kate Watson. We are going to be speaking about your work, your life, and how to really focus on a particular mission that might help you kind of take steps forward in a way that feels really intentional. The one thing is, and Lauren, I should let you know this, we're about to do something in the chat box that will have a whole bunch of responses, I hope, if it goes well. So if you are sharing something in there, it might start to float away at the top. You can just give me a thumbs up. Is this okay for me to move forward with that? Okay. So here we go, folks. I would love it if you could help me out by filling in the blank here, and you can just put your response in the chat box. I know I should blank, but blank. And I've put some examples here. Like, I know I should apply for internships, but I'm really busy at my part-time job. I know I should really settle on a major, but there are just so many possibilities. I know I should do more to protect the environment, but I get so distracted by other things. Tell me what would be your fill in the blank here. I know I should blank, but blank. Help me out. Put it in the chat box. I'm kind of expecting for 16 of us, there's going to be 16 different responses. And what I'd love to find out by seeing this flood the chat box, I'd love to find out what are those sticking points for you in your life where you find yourself pulled in multiple directions. Part of what I'd like to help you do is take some steps forward with intention, as I've said, and some confidence that you're taking steps forward in the right direction in the right way. So let's see. I don't see anything coming in yet. There we go. Already I know oh, they're coming in fast all of a sudden. Let me make my chat box bigger so that I can see many at one time. I know I should practice self-care, but I'm too busy with school, my job, and family obligations. Finding time to take better care of myself, but the demands of me are overwhelming. Choosing a major, but I don't know what I want or what I like. I know I should apply for internships. I just need to make more time for it. I know I should apply for more jobs, but it's making me anxious and I'm afraid of rejection. I know I should get back to the gym, but I feel like I have no time for it. Lisa, I like the way you phrase that as I feel like I have no time for it. There is a difference between having no time and feeling like you have no time. Let's see, we have building relationships, but you're kind of busy putting out fires. I know I should settle on a career path, but I don't know what I want to do. These are excellent examples. Let me not overpromise today. We're only here for an hour, maybe a little bit less. So I ought not promise that we're going to resolve these things for you. But what I'd like to do is help you think about how you might spend some time resolving these dilemmas for yourself with a mission statement. So I spend a lot of time speaking to people in different organizations, sometimes universities, sometimes big companies, about the ways that they do get distracted. They do get pulled in many directions. Folks, I can tell you for myself that as a small business owner, I get the opportunity to speak with lots of people who offer me opportunities to speak, to share, to lead workshops, just like this one that I'm doing today. And sometimes I feel like, I don't know if that opportunity is how I should be spending my time. It's tempting. It feels like a cool chance to meet people. It might be a neat resume builder, but I don't know if that's really where I should be prioritizing my limited time, my limited energy. So when Lauren asked me to do this one, it was an easy yes. But sometimes I'm faced with that same dilemma that you're describing. I know I should be doing more of this, but right now I'm getting the opportunity to do this. And I'm excited to speak to students about this in particular, because maybe there's no time of your life where this is more prevalent. As a student at a university, you are presented with opportunities constantly. You are presented with opportunities to join clubs, go to events, volunteer your time, meet new people, network, learn new skills, take new classes, get an internship, all sorts of things come into your email. There are flyers up on the wall, and it can be so difficult to pick and choose what's the right way to spend your time. And it's the kind of thing that no one can really help you with. Other people won't know what's the right way for you to spend your time. So, here are a few reasons why I'd like you to consider developing a mission statement with me today. One is when you can focus your goals on a really specific mission, like one sentence that you can hold dear, that you can remember easily and share with other people, it reduces your likelihood of always being overwhelmed and distracted. When I read through the chat box, it looked like a lot of you feel at times overwhelmed or distracted. Having a mission statement, though, can also help you reduce the amount of time that you spend a little underwhelmed and maybe unproductive. Maybe you're not really choosing anything. I don't know how many of you, I can see some of your cameras on. Maybe you can raise your hand or use the like the thumbs up feature to let me know. How many of you have ever been to a restaurant where the menu was too big? Right? And you're nodding. I see people, yes. And it's like, I don't even know where to begin with this menu. There are too many options. I think being a student can be like that, where the menu feels too big and it leaves you a bit paralyzed, right? The server keeps coming to your table saying, "Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet?" And you're like, "I'm only on page 4 of this menu and it is a book. So I need a little bit more time." I think being a student can be like that. And for the folks here who are no longer students, I think life can be a little bit like that. And I also think that doing this may help you just sort of stay on track. So here's what I'd like us to do. I'm going to put some prompts up on the screen. And this is going to go a little slow on purpose. I'm going to share them very slowly because these are prompts to make you think a little bit. And I'm hoping maybe nearby you have like a piece of scrap paper you can write on. It could even be a napkin. Who cares? No one's going to look at this. Or you're at a computer, you can pull up a Word document and type some thoughts. I just want you to find a place to document your reaction to some of these prompts. And it might feel like we're leaving a lot of space in between each one. That's because I'm trying to give you some time to capture your thoughts. Here's the first one. The first thing I'd like you to think about is what kind of tasks or activities make you feel most like you're in a flow, you're in a groove, like you could almost lose track of time in a good way. What kinds of activities do you do in your daily life that make you feel that way? Maybe you jot down some thoughts if you're a pen and paper type of person. Maybe you type out some thoughts if you're more of a Word document type of person. But capture this somewhere. You will thank yourself in a few minutes if you write down a couple of ideas, because soon we'll be building this into a mission statement, and you're going to wish you had kind of captured your quick reactions. So let me read this again, and then I may pause for a few seconds and let you do some quiet thinking. Think about your daily life. What kinds of tasks or activities make you feel most like you're in a flow? You're in a groove. You're just getting stuff done. It's not something that makes you work so hard. Or if you do, you almost don't notice. You just get it done. Part of the reason I pause is for you to think and also for me to hydrate. So this is mutually beneficial. Okay. Couple more seconds on that one. Here we go. If you're still working on number one, don't let me stop you. if your ideas are flowing just from that prompt, ignore me. Keep working on that one. But the next prompt says, what opportunities do you see in the world? Where could you be helpful? Where is there an opening? Where is there a gap? Where is there a need? Write down where there are some opportunities that you feel like maybe you could be helpful there. Feel free to think big or small. Sometimes people write things here like poverty, right? Like a big thing. And sometimes people write things here like teamwork, which might be more about your office or your club or your group. But what are the things that you feel like you might be able to help with? Again, I'm just going to pause, take this slow. Well, I'm going to take it slow and keep an eye on the time. Okay. Altogether, just so you know where this is going, I think there are 5 prompts. I think it helps some people to know what's the end game here. We're on number 2 of 5. Here's number 3. Oh, I love this question. What is so compelling that you would be willing to dedicate the next 5 to 10 years of your life to achieving it? Something that really grabs your attention enough that you would give it 5 to 10 years of your life of focus. Now, folks, if that time range, 5 to 10 years, doesn't resonate with you for some reason, change it. I find that most groups like thinking in 5 to 10 year time frames, but I can imagine if you're 18 years old, that might feel like a really big chunk of time. Change it. Change it. Think of a time frame that makes sense to you. We're going to give that a few seconds, and then I'll put up number 4. Hopefully you're generating some ideas. These don't have to be earth-shattering ideas, just some general thoughts to put your mind in a particular headspace and a particular direction. Okay, the next one says, how would you change the world if you were completely unreasonable? Now, I word it this way because I don't want us getting into, oh, well, but that would be hard. So I don't know, maybe I won't do that. Or I'm not sure if my family will like that. But we're not going to get into all the challenges and all the barriers. They exist and they're not going anywhere. But for right now, let's be unreasonable. Think bigger than what your brain might want to limit you to do. How would you change the world if you were just being unreasonable about it? Let's take off the table anything that's, like taking over the world. Other than that, how would you change the world if you were completely unreasonable? Okay. The last one, how would you like to be remembered? What's your legacy, you think? What is that legacy that you might leave behind? What will people say about you? Keep working. I'm also going to share a really quick story. So a couple years ago, I was getting started as an entrepreneur, growing my business, felt like I needed some direction. I went to a training program that was 3 or 4 days long. It was like a long weekend. And it was a bunch of people who were trying to build a mission for their life, for their companies, for, the next 5 to 10 years at least. And we spent a long weekend together, about 100 of us from around the world, trying to build mission statements. And after a 4-day weekend, most of us were boarding airplanes back to where we live, saying to each other, I'm still really working on that mission statement. I need to edit it a little bit. I need to fix it. I need to tweak it. So I just want each of you to know, the 21 of us together today, that after a 4-day weekend, I still wasn't sure I had landed on a mission statement I felt good about. We have like 30 more minutes or so to work on this. So again, I want to set your expectations. This is just a beginning. This is just a beginning of how you might form this into a mission statement. Here's what it could look like, and then I'm going to give you some time to work on it. Mission statements tend to be powerful when they are 15 words or less, have a little hint of inspiration in there, and they include who, what, and where. These aren't rules. I'm not going to tell you, you need to fix it, you need to change it if they don't meet that criteria. But this is some guidance for you in case you're looking for a direction. I run this workshop a lot, and here are some mission statements people have developed in my workshops. Things like, my mission is to fight for equal pay for women in the workplace in the United States. My mission is to create a supportive environment for Stockton students to explore their goals. My mission is to advocate for environmental justice on college campuses in the United States. My mission is to reduce sickness and suffering in rural environments. My mission is to help young people in my neighborhood build skills and confidence. My mission is to improve air quality in low-income neighborhoods in California. My mission is to reduce police brutality against Black people in Philadelphia. My mission is to promote innovation and discovery among teams in the workplace. And the last one is the mission statement for my company, the Advocacy Academy. The company mission is to build a skilled workforce of advocates to respond to violence around the world. Take a deep breath here. Because you might be wondering, how do all my little scribbled down notes turn into this? Well, today is just a start, and you will keep editing and you will keep editing. But I suspect somewhere in your scribbled down notes, as you thought about your legacy, as you thought about what goals you want to achieve and what opportunities you see in the world, somewhere in there may be the very beginning of a mission statement for you. And by the time we end today, it will not be perfect. You will not love it yet, but it will be a start. And part of the reason mission statements can be so powerful for you as a student leader, or even just a student, period, is that when you are presented with all of these opportunities, internships, clubs, volunteer work, sign up here, sign up there, attend this, attend that, you can pause and you can ask yourself, does this feed my mission? I ask myself this many times a day. Somebody asked me the other day, can you help me write an article? And 5 years ago, it would have been immediately, yes, that would be great. I would love to do that. Now, with a clearly defined mission, I pause and I think to myself, does this article help me feed my mission? Actually, this one doesn't. And it arms me. It equips me with something to say in that moment, rather than just saying, no, I don't want to do it, because people then feel very rejected by that. Instead, I can say, I've really defined my purpose for the next few years, and I need to put my energy toward things that feed that purpose. But thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a far more empowering way to say no. You'll attend 100 workshops about how to say no. This one's about how to say yes to the things that are really important to you. It's really just the flip side of saying no. You'll have to say no to some things. There will be some events you can't attend. There will be some parties you don't go to. There will be some things that seem like good ideas that you will have to say no to, only because you're saying yes to your own mission and your own purpose instead. So let me do a little time check. We've got 20 people and it's about 12:20. I think what I'd like to do is offer you the chance to go into some small groups, maybe 3 or 4 people, and have a little chat about where you're starting to form your mission so far. And I suspect some of you will go into a breakout room, and some of you are going to say, here's my mission statement. It's 15 words or less. It's inspirational, and it's got who, what, and where. Done. Great. You're a superstar. And some of you will go into this breakout room and say, I don't know. I care about kids. I think I want to do something with kids, and that's okay too. You're also a superstar because you're taking your time with this. So wherever you are, If you've got maybe just a general realm that you think your mission might exist in, good. And if you've got a perfectly crafted mission statement that you're ready to put on your LinkedIn profile and your email signature, and you want to print it on a business card, also good. Wherever you are, you're doing your job right now. So here we go. Let me stop sharing for a second.
I'll go ahead and pause the recording as well.
Great. Thank you. Thanks. That's great.
All
Welcome
right.
back, YouTube audience. Let's lie to them and say, you didn't miss much. It wasn't that great. But I would love to hear from each of you. I really do welcome these messages. My email address is here. It's kate@advocacyacademy.org. And listen, this doesn't have to be fancy, right? I'm not fancy. I would love it if you just sent me an email that said, this is what I'm working on. My mission is blah, 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 blah. What do you think? And very likely I'm going to Susan you. I'm going to write back and be like, go, do it, run with it. It's awesome. But it would make me so happy to receive those messages. I'm not super active on Twitter or Instagram, but I keep sharing this handle with groups, hoping that it will inspire me to like do more with my social media. So maybe you'll be the group who, just connects with me on social media and makes me think, yeah, I should be doing more. So if you care to help me with that, it's AdvocateW on Twitter and Instagram. All right. On that note, I'm gonna say thank you and goodbye and enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Advocate. I love that. Just real quick as we start to wrap up, thank you again for coming to our Leadership Lunch series today. Next week, oh my gosh, I don't even have this up. Next week, I believe we are talking about ways to start your own business and talking about leadership in the entrepreneurial sense. So definitely come back next week to tune into that session. At this point, I am going to say goodbye to our YouTube audience and stop the recording so that we can select our winners of our Grubhub gift card today.